Yeah.
Post a lot more.
Spread. I like to see it.
It
And I'm.
does a lot more too, it looks
Oh,
like.
that's. You know, I took your paper by accident.
That's fine. I went ahead and had a backup.
Yeah.
Post a lot more.
Spread. I like to see it. Oh.
Yeah. I think we got that.
Yeah.
Yeah, shoot. We look at the fire
Give you a
truck.
minute if you want, or five.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear us?
Uh-oh. What happened?
That's you, Joan? Joan disappeared.
You're on mute, Joan.
Man, it's hot in here.
And you see me? Yes, that's me.
It is
I
a
ordered
little
shipped, and of course now I like to shop and go. I'm like, oh gosh. You're gonna be going on my phone. Oh, somebody like.
I somehow,
I don't know if you want to say
I also found the just picture me
Yeah.
because of that, because they cluster.
Yeah.
I love her to death.
You get your shots?
I know,
Man.
I need to check.
Did you get all your shots?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, mine's done great. Thank you.
They won't last long enough.
Oh,
So,
Rick isn't worthy of the.
I actually consider like,
Did you send it?
Is she going to the American Bank Center?
Yeah, Colleen got it.
Yeah, I think Jojo went today. Some people I know went today and said it's pretty quick. You know.
And I'm on.
But I said, hey, I looked at you the other day, and I was like, compared to like one of my friends.
Oh, baby.
Like, there's no food till
they were planning.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you gotta get on
Take
the
on my new.
Yeah.
You're okay.
No,
You
you
got her.
Yeah.
It was like.
Okay, I remember you said you got one.
Like, oh.
It's gonna be the first trip for it?
People freak out. I would mainly need.
I was way
urgent.
more worried about gas than
Yeah, oh,
I was
Okay.
anything else, so.
Spend a few
I wasn't
dollars.
willing to use my last quarter of the tank until I knew we had more coming.
When you want to pay.
They said.
Howdy, sir.
How are you, sir?
Not unless I'm cycling your car, no.
Running like
I needed it for the.
Prefer to keep my head cut off.
So gas card or something?
It's out of your pocket and then you.
I know
find
you
out,
will.
Oh, you, okay.
We're getting.
No, you won't bug me.
It'll be covered
You won't bug me.
100%, and I cannot.
You ready, Mayor?
Get rid of my keys.
Do we have everybody?
Yes, sir. We got everybody here and Joan is on. Joan, you hear me?
I do.
Okay.
Hi, Joan.
Hi.
I'm already fogging up.
Might be. Oh, we have it.
That's in your normal seat.
No, Mayor wanted me to be closer to him.
No, I'll give Shannon at least a little space to spread out.
All plugged in
So we're
over
not-
there. I've got the candy, I'm spread.
I need to give this back to you tonight, filled out.
Yes, sir.
Work.
Paperwork.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
I'll never be.
Okay, it's Thursday, February 25, 2021. This is our 5 PM City Council special meeting. And we're going to open this up with a call to order and a pledge of allegiance to our flag. Well, that ended that. Did I spill Coke all over?
No, not over this, but
Just my feet.
just your feet.
That figures.
Here's the napkin right here.
That's all right. I like. That's my wife now calling me why I did that.
I got your
Okay. All right. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ernest, you want to do our prayer?
We gather to make decisions for our community. May we use only our best skills and judgment, keeping ourselves impartial and neutral as we consider the merits and pitfalls of each matter that is placed before us, and always act in accordance with what is best for our community and our fellow citizens. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ernest.
Mayor, I need to run out my truck for a second to just continue. I'll be right back.
And just draw hands. My grave will draw hands. When you're in grave, you draw hands.
Stephanie, you owe $1 to the jar.
What was that?
That's mine.
That was you?
Oh, ooh, good comeback.
Okay, you ready, Bruce?
Yes, sir.
All right, we've done our call to order, pledge of allegiance, opening prayer. We're going to open our public hearing. The first thing I want to do on that is to present a 20-year service award to a lady that has been very faithful, very trustworthy, and very dedicated to her job. And I'm going to miss her very, very much. And also miss arguing with her. Cindy, come on.
So Cindy's been through, Cindy, your first year was 2001, and she's been through 5 city managers and 5 mayors.
She's still
Yeah.
here.
Deserve an award and then some.
Yes.
There you, darling, you got.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Y'all are COVID appropriate. Me, I want to live closer. Awesome. David, you want to get in?
Yeah, let's scoot over a little bit so we get on the camera. Yeah, I think right here, stop right there. Then that way we're on the, get in the middle, Cindy.
Yeah, now you're on the, now you're. Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
Awesome. Smile. Great.
Thanks, Cindy.
Congratulations.
Cindy promised she's not calling in sick tomorrow.
She's better be here.
Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
What are you gonna do with all your free time? I want to travel some. Good.
All right.
Right now we're going to Ecuador and Peru. Oh my
I'm
gosh,
jealous.
that's amazing.
That's just,
You know? Yeah, yeah.
but that's what my plans are.
Well, good for you.
Send postcards.
Go enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Cindy.
You're welcome.
Okay. David, I think you're going to do an update on the city's
Yes,
response.
so this is in regards to, and I didn't really realize it had a name, but Uri.
That's the first time I've ever heard of it.
Yeah. So the city will be conducting what we call an AAR after action report next week. So it's basically all the director heads will be getting together. We go over and highlight what the city did, what actions were taken by the city, what we did right, what we did wrong, how we want to make improvements. And then we'll bring that back to you guys when we finish it. But for now, all I've done really at this point is the department heads have all started their own individual, their own first draft of, what all their departments were doing. Pretty much starting from kind of Saturday was kind of when I'm looking at these, we start seeing the first action is taken about Saturday, and then it progresses a little bit Sunday, ramps up Monday, and then of course it gets, pretty hot and heavy during the week. And I won't go over all of them in detail at this point since it's still just a draft, but just to give you some of the highlights, starting with the police department, they started ramping up. Mainly they were getting their dispatch started just getting bombarded with calls, starting on Saturday and Sunday. I think they received over 1,195 calls from Sunday to Saturday. One of the biggest things they did was they kicked off on Monday. They kicked off setting up the Civic Center as a warming shelter, and working with other city departments, Parks and Rec, help staff, EMS, Darla and admin, Stephanie and her crew up front. Public Works was chipping in. I mean, it was pretty much all hands on deck to get that thing set up. They ran it from Monday, and we ran it all the way until Friday dinner. So I think it was 5 days. And then we shut it down Saturday with a big food giveaway. We worked with the pantry folks, and they did the food giveaway themselves. So all the food was funneled through the Port Aransas pantry folks. And then we did a big food giveaway Saturday morning. I think we had about 90 people come through, and we got rid of all the food. So it was a great way to end it. We didn't see a lot of food go to waste, and a lot of people were still in need. A lot of people at that point had emptied their refrigerators and were down to just dry food. So we were giving away, it was mostly perishables. So it was a lot of meats, cheeses, milk, a lot of stuff that people needed. So that worked really good. Over 2,000 people entered the warming shelter from Monday through Friday. So it was a big success. We initially the heaters and this is one thing we're going to work on. The heater strips draw so many amps that it overloads the generator. So one thing we've learned is that we can redo the heater strips to draw less amps. So we're going to be working with an electrician to reconfigure the AC and heater units in the Civic Center so that we have the possibility to heat. And that stuff will come up in the after action report and things that we identified that we want to fix. But we were able to have an electrician came in and set up some portable heaters that brought the temperature up a little bit to make the warming center a true warming center. So that really helped out. So kudos to the police. All hands on deck. They did a great job. The Parks and Rec.
Just
Yes, sir.
interrupt you for a second.
Yeah.
I want to thank you and the staff, the entire staff, for what you did for the city. A lot of us.
Well, it was as you guys know, I was in Utah. I left for Utah Thursday, and
He took all the food with him.
I took all the power with him. Came back. We got word Monday that all the flights were canceled and I wasn't going to be able to return to Saturday. So we drove back from Salt Lake City. And so we were able to roll into town about Wednesday afternoon. So, I missed the first 2 days, but luckily, and not luckily, we have a great staff. I mean, I wasn't worried for a minute missing those first 2 days. We had Chief and Darla and Colleen and Ed from EMS, and we had Public Works, and everyone was, all hands on deck. They handled the situation great, which is a good sign that we have multiple leaders in the community that can step in and handle adverse situations. I think we all are seasoned veterans, from Harvey. So I think we're all getting fine tuned. And so the staff did a wonderful job. And the volunteers, the shelter ran on the back of the volunteers, and they were, I think, several groups. It was the fire auxiliary.
Yeah, some of the churches.
Yeah, it was the churches. The churches chipped in,
Yeah.
and they really took over that shelter and did all the food prep, and it was pretty amazing to see the community all chip in like that. The first night, the shelter did some overnight sleeping, but we transferred that to the Baptist church. So the Baptist church did overnight sleeping from Monday, and then Friday night was their last night that they did the overnight sleeping. So they handled that portion of it. But the volunteers were amazing. I got to see them in action for the last 3 or 4 days, and they were singing and dancing around and were pretty tirelessly, and they would come in and work breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then do a massive cleanup, and then start it all over the next day. So the volunteers were really amazing, and a big thanks needs to go out to those groups.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Is there going to be a time for questions? I know this is probably not the appropriate thing, but I know there's federal money to help us like fix the heater strips and all that. Are we going after
well,
that?
there'll be
not
some.
federal.
We've been declared a disaster, but we have thresholds we have to meet. Yeah.
It wasn't damaged.
Yeah, it wasn't a damaged facility, so
Okay.
we'll have to see how the funding fleshes out. We have gas system damages, we have some other stuff, so we have to, weigh that out and figure out
Sure.
where we want to apply different stuff.
Special thanks I want to give to Mitch and his folks.
Yeah, and I'll get to the gas department, and I'll jump on the gas next. So
Because they were out in the cold and they did everything they had to do to beat those connections to make them sure the gas was still flowing, and they did it in sub-zero weather. So that was all night.
yeah, so
several nights, as a matter of fact.
the gas department, initially on the first Saturday, February 13th, we started to see the pressure dropping in the island mooring system. They went out on Sunday and did some troubleshooting and got the pressure to come back up a little bit. And then by Monday, the pressure started to drop again. By Tuesday morning, it got dangerously low, and that's when the initial shutoff happened in island moorings. So at 11 a.m. on Tuesday morning, they turned off island moorings. By 1 p.m., they had hired a contractor to assist in the island. What we had in there was a slug of debris from Harvey that we know is throughout the city system. And a slug of debris basically clogged the entire island moorings line. Now, we identified where it was, and we came up with a plan to bypass it. Took us about 2 days to pull that off, but it was a heavy lift with the weather and the ground and the conditions. But within 2 days, I think they started it Wednesday morning, and they had the bypass completed by Thursday. But in the meantime, the whole city system started dropping out. So the where we take our gas from South Cross at Fish Pass, that's our main regulator where our system starts, we started having severe pressure drops. And the cause was we were getting, because the gas system was so low, there's water contamination as you start dropping out, and that water contamination started showing up in the system. And the gas valves, you're talking little teeny pinholes of openings starting to get clogged by freezing ice. And as that ice would accumulate in the valves, the pressure, all the pressure into the city line would start dropping. And at first it was like, take a wrench and give it the old Russian wackadoo on the regulator head to bust up some of the ice. But when that stopped working, we went to, had hot water boiling. The volunteers were boiling water for us. And then the gas people would run it out, pour it over the regulator. And about every 5 hours for about 3 days, from Tuesday at 5 o'clock in the afternoon until about Friday at noon, we were having the system drop out about every 5 hours. About every 5 hours, it would start freezing up. And there's two lines. There's the main line and the bypass. And the main line would start freezing up, and then the bypass would start freezing up. And it would take them about an hour of they would dismantle the, either the bypass or the main line. They take the regulator valves off, break them apart, get the ice out, hit them with DW40, put them back together, put them back online, get them heated up with water. And that would typically do the trick. But every 5 hours, that's what they were doing. So they were manning the gas system 24 hours around the clock, because, at 3 a.m. it would start to drop out. And to keep the whole system up, the gas crews ran that, did that 24 hours. And finally, by Friday, the temperature climbed up enough to where we got out of the danger. But that's what it took to, and the main problem again was Harvey damage, because we're getting ready to rebuild that entire system. And one of the missing components that was damaged in Harvey is it's a catalytic conversion heater that mounts to the system that helps keep your gas at a higher temperature to not freeze up.
Right.
That was a missing component that got damaged in Harvey and has not been replaced, because we're awaiting the gas line replacement that you guys approved. When did we approve that last? Yeah, so that's coming. That kind of delayed bringing island moorings back online, because we were in a panic to keep the whole system up. But eventually, I think it was either late Friday or early Saturday morning, they started bringing island moorings in La Jolla back online. And where they finished the bypass, and they pretty much got everyone back online. And so that was the gas thing. So kudos to the gas crews for
effort.
Good, really, really good effort on them to keep the gas system up and running. I know the bad part was a lot of people had their electric was out, and a lot of modern day water, on demand hot water heaters, or just regular gas heaters, or your furnace require electricity. So the gas didn't do everyone good. You could at least run your stovetop or maybe your fireplace, but unfortunately, gas and electric go hand in hand in a lot of cases. So that was the gas. Stephanie did a great job. Staff here. Go ahead, Joan.
I just really, really thank the gas guys for putting up those many, many hours in the cold, and it really made a difference to us, because we could at least have a gas range and cook and see a little bit of heat from that. But I really, really appreciate their efforts.
Yeah. Thank you, Joan. We had a great effort with our admin, Darla and Fran and Stephanie and her staff. They were really scrambling. I mean, we had a lot of things going on. We were trying to keep the Meals on Wheels folks with food. We were doing welfare checks, rescheduling RTA buses, getting water ordered. We were going through our generator fuel. So we were trying to get fuel ordered, and believe me, ordering fuel during the storm was pretty tough. Then with the water freezing up, we had to bring emergency porta potties out and get porta potties out to the community park, to Roberts Point Park and the marina, to City Hall, because people were still out and about. We couldn't use the bathrooms here, so we had a lot of moving and shaking, a lot of moving parts to just with the admin staff here. Parks and Rec, Colleen, they did a great job. They were scrambling. Colleen, the community center is an older building, no insulated pipes underneath. We received not horrible, it's already fixed, but damage under there. So that's something we need to look at. That's the kind of things that the after action report will identify as, maybe insulate under, the community center, insulate under the nature preserve building, all these older buildings that have uninsulated pipes that are exposed. Some damage, nothing that's breaking the bank, but a lot of irrigation damage, water fountains, The pool suffered, we thought it was our pumps, but luckily it was just an attachment to the pump went out. So we got those fixed. The gas heaters are working at the pool. The pool temperature is up to about 83 degrees. So the pool is up and running. And the parks crews are doing a great job of getting everything repaired. And they did a great job. They worked, we had a screening before you could come into the warming center. You had to do a COVID screen and log in, and we were tracking where everyone was from. And so we could keep good numbers. So Parks and Rec ran that front desk with EMS crews pretty much around the clock for 5 days. So that was a big help with the parks crew. Doug and his crew out on the beach helped a lot with winterization, draining the showers out at the beach. Doug and his crews worked on getting water, getting things moved around, working with Stephanie and the staff here, getting all the fuel tanks, keeping fuel in the generator. So that took a lot of effort. They're currently working with the ARC. Unfortunately, there was, I think, 1,000+ turtles recovered dead. And so we've been working with the ARC. I think to date, we've buried almost 500 turtles. So that's pretty sad. And then a lot of fish. We're having a lot of fish come up on the beaches right now. So we're skimming, front end loader, skimming the low beach and then burying the fish. And then we have the beach tech is working the mid beach and collecting fish, and then we bury them. But, every high tide, more come in where we just work. So it's going to just let the citizens know it's going to take several weeks for this to cycle, for all those fish to cycle up through the tides, and we'll just keep hitting it. But we're getting a lot of fish in the marina showing up. And I've heard island moorings, a lot of fish out there. So they kind of blow around and move around, and they tend to pocket in different areas. So we're doing a lot of fish cleanup on the beach. So that's kind of, that's just the draft. So as I said, the staff will have an in-depth after action report meeting next week, and we'll draft up a more detailed report on, what happened, what we did, how we responded, and things that we need to address. So that'll be coming. It'll take us a couple of weeks to put it together, but we'll get it out to you guys.
David?
Yes.
I would like to thank Dana, Nicole Boyer, because she was a social media guru that kept us all informed about what was going on, what could we expect or not expect to happen, and when it might happen. And that was really, really valuable to have her give us all that information and keep it out there all the time.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, any other comments or?
Good job.
Any citizen comments?
No, sir, I have not received any citizen comments.
Any other comments from council?
Good job, guys.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah,
Thank you, thank you,
great
thank
work.
you.
I mean, we all been through Harvey, and this time it hit the whole state. And you could just tell the resilience of the players in this town and everybody coming together, like you said. And I thought everybody handled it real well. And so glad to be here. Thank you all.
Yep.
Moving on then. Item number 6. The City Council will conduct a closed executive session in compliance with Section 551.072 to deliberate the purchase, the exchange, lease, or value of real property interest for property located at 113 Allister Street, Port Aransas, Texas, 78373. Mortgage addition lots 1 through 10, Block 2, and a portion of lots 5 and 6, Block 1. And this is popularly known as McDonald Ball Field.
Just a second, are we gonna leave Mark McConaughey in? Or Andrew?
Yeah, leave Mark in.
Andrew, okay. Andrew.
Yeah, and Andrew.
Okay. I think, no, he didn't show up, sorry. Yeah.
And Stephanie.
Stephanie, yeah.
Yeah, Stephanie.
Where's Rick at?
There's Rick, yeah.
It's right there.
Where's Rick?
He's on
He's
video.
zooming.
Oh, he's zooming?
Yes. Is Rick staying in for this discussion?
Where's he zooming from?
It looks like his office.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's in his
I'm in my office.
Oh,
You miss me? I'll come down there.
oh, that's all right. You can stay there.
I deleted him.
Yeah, we just need Andrew, Stephanie, and is Mark on there?
Mark
No.
isn't-
Mark is not. You're stuck with Andrew Friedman.
Okay, and we don't need. Yep,